While she laughed with her friends about shaving for her ex, I was in the next room, listening to every word. I didn't storm in, didn't confront her, didn't make a scene. I just stood there, holding my half-packed bag, as my entire future rewrote itself in real time. The next morning, when she expected breakfast in bed and cute texts about our upcoming wedding, she got something else entirely. This is a story about the night before a wedding that never happened, about betrayal delivered with laughter, about a man who chose silence over confrontation and dignity over revenge. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that hype button to boost this episode, and drop a comment below with your city or country. I'm always curious where you're watching from. Now, let's get into it. Daniel Pierce was 32 years old when he discovered that sometimes the universe gives you exactly the information you need at exactly the right moment. It was Friday evening, 2 days before his wedding. The rehearsal dinner had been the night before, perfect, warm, everything he'd hoped for, family and friends toasting to their future, Madison glowing in a white dress, looking at him with eyes that seemed full of love and promise. 2 days. 48 hours until he walked down that aisle and committed his life to someone he thought he knew. The plan for tonight was simple. Bachelor party for him, bachelorette party for her. Standard pre-wedding celebrations. Nothing crazy. Just friends, drinks, laughter, memories. Daniel and his groomsmen were meeting at 8 p.m. at a brewery downtown. Low-key. A few beers, some pool, sharing stories. That was Daniel's style. Quiet celebration. Nothing excessive. Madison's party was different. She'd rented a suite at a luxury hotel downtown, invited 10 of her closest friends, planned a full evening of champagne, room service, music, dancing, the kind of night that costs thousands of dollars and generates hundreds of Instagram posts. She'd left the apartment around 6 p.m. to get ready at the hotel with her bridesmaids. The suite was booked for the night. They'd have hours to drink and laugh and celebrate before the wedding weekend officially began. Daniel had the apartment to himself for a few hours before heading to his own party. He was in the living room, packing his overnight bag, clothes for tomorrow, toiletries, his phone charger, when his phone rang. Madison's name, FaceTime call. He answered. Her face appeared on screen, already flushed from champagne, laughing with someone off camera. "Hey babe, just wanted to show you the suite. Look at this place." She flipped the camera around, showing him a sprawling hotel room with floor-to-ceiling windows, a massive bed, a sitting area filled with her bridesmaids already drinking and laughing. "It's beautiful," Daniel said. "Right? This is going to be such a good night." She flipped the camera back to herself. "What are you doing?" "Just packing, heading out to meet the guys in a bit." "Have fun, but not too much fun. You're mine in 2 days." She blew him a kiss. "Love you." "Love you too." The call ended. Daniel set down his phone and went back to packing. Tried to ignore the small knot of anxiety that had been sitting in his chest all week. Pre-wedding jitters. Normal. Everyone got them. He was zipping up his bag when he heard it. A voice, clear, unmistakable, coming from his phone. Madison's voice. He looked down. The FaceTime call had ended, but something was still active. The screen showed Madison's contact photo, but with audio waves moving across it. The call hadn't disconnected properly, or she'd accidentally left it open, or some technical glitch had created an open line. Whatever the reason, Daniel could hear everything happening in that hotel suite. "So excited! 2 more days!" That was Brianna, Madison's maid of honor. "You nervous?" "Not really. I mean, Daniel's great. Stable, reliable, good job." Madison's voice slightly slurred already. "Not exactly exciting, but that's what marriage is, right? Safety." Laughter from the other women. "Safety is good," another voice said. "Better than my ex who couldn't hold down a job." "True. Daniel's definitely the settle-down type." Madison again. "Speaking of excitement, though, I invited Tyler." Silence. Then gasps. Then overlapping voices. "Tyler? Your ex Tyler?" "The Tyler you were obsessed with in college?" "Madison, you're getting married in 2 days." I know. Madison was laughing now. That particular laugh she had when she was being mischievous. "But he's in town this weekend, and I thought, why not? Just to see if he shows up. Just for fun." "Madison." "What? It's my bachelorette party. I'm allowed to have fun." "Does Daniel know?" "God, no. Daniel would have a heart attack. He's so serious about everything." More laughter. Then Madison's voice, dropping to a stage whisper that was still perfectly audible. "I spent all day shaving everywhere for him, just in case." The room erupted. Howling laughter. Cheers. Someone yelled, "Madison, you're terrible." She giggled. "I'm just saying, if my ex-boyfriend shows up looking good, it's my last night of freedom, right?" Daniel stood frozen in his living room, phone in hand, listening to his fiancée laugh about preparing her body for another man. Not just any man. Tyler, her college ex. The one she'd dated for 3 years. The one who'd broken her heart when he moved to New York for work. The one she claimed she was completely over. The one she just admitted to inviting to her bachelorette party. The one she'd shaved everywhere for. 2 days before their wedding, he should hang up, should stop listening. But he couldn't move, couldn't breathe, just stood there as his world collapsed in audio form. "I still can't believe you invited him," Brianna said. "Aren't you nervous he'll tell Daniel?" "Tyler won't tell. He's not like that. Besides, what's Daniel going to do? Call off the wedding 2 days before because I wanted to see an old friend?" "Madison, be real. You didn't invite him as a friend." "Okay, fine. Maybe I wanted to see if there's still something, you know? Just to know. Just to be sure I'm making the right choice." "By sleeping with him?" "I didn't say I was going to sleep with him. I just said I'm prepared if something happens." More laughter. Someone made a joke about wedding night comparisons. Madison laughed loudest of all. Daniel finally moved, ended the call, set his phone down on the coffee table with shaking hands, stood in silence. The apartment felt different suddenly. Smaller, colder, like he was seeing it for the first time. This was the place he'd shared with Madison for 2 years, the place they'd painted together, chosen furniture for, hosted friends in, built a life in, the place where apparently she'd spent all day preparing her body for another man while Daniel packed for his bachelor party. He looked at his overnight bag, at his phone, at the framed photo on the mantel, him and Madison on vacation last summer, smiling, happy, in love, or so he'd thought. "I spent all day shaving everywhere for him. It's my last night of freedom. What's Daniel going to do? Call off the wedding?" The words echoed in his head, each one a small blade. Together, a complete evisceration. Daniel sat down on the couch, looked at his watch. 7:15. His groomsmen would be expecting him in 45 minutes. He picked up his phone, pulled up his brother's contact, started typing a message, deleted it, started again. Finally sent, "Change of plans. Cancel tonight. I'll explain later." Then he set down his phone, looked around the apartment, and felt something shift inside him. Not anger, not even hurt, really. Just clarity. Perfect, cold clarity. I didn't interrupt. I didn't shout. I just stopped caring. Daniel spent the next 4 hours in systematic motion. Not frantic, not emotional, just methodical. Like executing a business plan, like closing out a bad investment before the losses multiplied. First, he called his brother back. "Hey, what's going on? Everything okay?" "No, but it will be. I need you to not ask questions right now. Can you do that?" His brother hesitated. "Are you in danger?" "No, but I'm calling off the wedding." Long silence. "What happened?" "I'll tell you later. Right now I need your help. Can you come to the apartment? I need to move some things." "Move things?" "Daniel, what? Please, just trust me. I'll explain everything. But I need to move fast before Madison gets home." "She's at her bachelorette party, right?" "Exactly. So I have until tomorrow morning. Will you help me?" "Of course. Give me 20 minutes. Oh, while he waited, Daniel started making calls. First, the honeymoon. A 2-week trip to Greece. All-inclusive resort. $8,000. Booked on his credit card. "Yes. I need to cancel reservation confirmation number 4478392. "May I ask the reason for cancellation, sir?" "Change of plans. Wedding's not happening." "I'm very sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, the cancellation policy for bookings this close to the travel date. I understand there's a fee. Just cancel it, please." "The cancellation fee is $3,000. Would you like me to proceed?" "Yes." $3,000 lost, but $8,000 saved. And more importantly, no honeymoon with someone who'd been preparing to cheat on him the night before their wedding. Small price. Next, the wedding venue. This was trickier. The contract had been signed, deposits paid, final payment due next week. He called the event coordinator. "Daniel, so excited for Sunday. Everything's confirmed and I need to cancel the wedding." Pause. "I'm sorry, what?" "The wedding is canceled. Effective immediately." "Daniel, the wedding is in 2 days. We've prepared everything. The catering, the flowers, I understand, and I know there are financial implications, but the wedding isn't happening. What do I need to do to formally cancel?" Well, according to your contract, cancellations within 72 hours of the event forfeit the entire deposit and 50% of the remaining balance. Daniel did the math in his head. The venue package was $40,000. They'd paid $15,000 down. That was gone, plus 50% of the remaining $25,000. That was $12,500. Total loss, $27,500. Okay. Okay? Mr. Pierce, do you understand that's... I understand. I'll have my lawyer send the formal cancellation notice tomorrow. Thank you for your work. He hung up. $27,000. Gone. But the alternative was marrying someone who just giggled about sleeping with her ex. Worth it. His brother arrived. Daniel, what the hell is going on? Help me pack. I'll explain while we work. They spent the next 2 hours methodically removing Daniel's belongings from the apartment. Clothes, books, personal items, electronics. Anything that was his went into boxes and bags. You're really doing this, his brother said, folding shirts. 2 days before the wedding? I heard her, Daniel said simply. On the phone. Accidentally. She invited her ex to her bachelorette party. Spent all day preparing for him. Talked about it being her last night of freedom. His brother stopped folding. She said that? With her friends, laughing like it was funny, like I was just the safe, boring choice and Tyler was the exciting option she needed to explore one more time before settling. Daniel, I'm so sorry. Don't be. I'm grateful I found out now instead of after the wedding. Can you imagine? Married for a year, 5 years, 10 years, and then discovering she never really chose me, that I was always just the backup plan. They loaded everything into his brother's truck, made 3 trips to a storage unit Daniel had rented online an hour earlier. By midnight, the apartment looked different, half empty, his absence obvious in every room, but Madison wouldn't notice until she came home tomorrow, and by then it would be too late to stop what was coming. Daniel's final task was the hardest one. He sat at his laptop, opened his email, found Madison's father's contact, Thomas Reynolds, successful businessman, traditional, protective of his daughter, helping to pay for half the wedding. Daniel had always gotten along with him, respected him, thought they'd be family soon. Now he had to send this man evidence that his daughter had been planning to cheat the night before her wedding. He attached the audio file, the recording of Madison's conversation with her friends, her voice clear and damning. Then he wrote, Mr. Reynolds, I'm sorry to send this at such a late hour, and I'm sorry for what you're about to hear. But I think you deserve to know why I'm calling off the wedding. I accidentally overheard this conversation tonight. Madison doesn't know I heard, but I can't marry someone who would do this. I'm canceling all arrangements tomorrow. The venue has been notified. I'll handle my portion of the financial consequences. I'm truly sorry this didn't work out differently. I wish your family all the best. Daniel. He hit send before he could second-guess himself. Then he picked up his phone, recorded a video message. Madison, by the time you see this, you'll know that I canceled the wedding. You'll probably be confused, angry, maybe even playing the victim. So I want you to hear this from me, in my own words, before you start rewriting history. I heard you tonight, every word. The phone didn't disconnect. You invited Tyler, prepared for him, laughed about it with your friends, treated our relationship like a joke. So I'm out. I'm not interested in being someone's safe choice or backup plan. I deserve better than that. I hope you find whatever it is you're looking for, but you won't find it with me. He saved the video, uploaded it to a flash drive, set it on the kitchen counter next to a note he'd written earlier. You invited your ex. I uninvited myself. Next to the note, he placed her engagement ring, the 3-carat diamond he'd saved for 6 months to buy, the ring she'd shown off to everyone, the ring that meant commitment and forever. Now it just meant mistake averted. Daniel looked around the apartment one last time, at the half-empty closet, at the note and ring on the counter, at the physical evidence of a life he was walking away from. He felt nothing. No regret, no sadness, no anger. Just peace. When people show you who they are, don't argue. Just sign the exit papers in your head. Madison woke up at 10:30 Saturday morning with a pounding headache and a mouth that tasted like regret. The bachelorette party had gone late. Very late. She vaguely remembered shots around midnight, dancing around 2 a.m., someone ordering pizza at some point. Tyler had never shown up. She'd checked her phone obsessively all night, hoping for a text, watching the door, feeling increasingly pathetic and embarrassed in front of her friends. He'd ignored her invitation completely, just like he'd ignored her for the past 5 years. She'd spent all day shaving for a man who didn't even care enough to respond. Now she was in a hotel bed, alone, hungover, wearing last night's makeup, and late for her dress fitting at noon, she reached for her phone. No cute good morning text from Daniel. That was unusual. He always sent something, every morning for 2 years. She typed, "Good morning, almost husband. Rough night. I'll be home by 1. Love you." Hit send. Waited for the immediate response Daniel always gave. Nothing. Maybe he was sleeping in. Maybe his bachelor party went late too. She showered, changed into clean clothes, said goodbye to her bridesmaids who were all nursing similar hangovers, and caught an Uber home. Walked into the apartment at 12:40, and immediately knew something was wrong. The apartment felt different. Empty. Echoey in a way it normally wasn't. "Daniel?" No answer. She walked through the living room. Half the books were gone from the shelves. The couch looked bare without Daniel's throw blanket. Into the bedroom. His closet door was open, empty hangers, bare shelves. Her heart started pounding. "Daniel!" She ran through the apartment. His office was cleaned out. His bathroom supplies were gone. His shoes missing from the rack by the door, back to the kitchen. That's when she saw it. A note on the counter. Cream cardstock. Her engagement ring sitting on top of it like a paperweight. And next to both, a flash drive. Madison's hands were shaking as she picked up the note. "You invited your ex. I uninvited myself." She read it 3 times before the words made sense. He knew, Daniel knew about Tyler. But how? She'd been so careful. Tyler hadn't even shown up. Nothing had happened. There was nothing to know. She grabbed the flash drive, ran to her laptop, plugged it in. 2 files, 1 audio, 1 video. She opened the audio first. Immediately heard her own voice. Loud. Drunk. Laughing with her friends. "I invited Tyler. Hope he shows. I spent all day shaving everywhere for him." Oh, God. Oh, God, no. The recording continued. Every horrible thing she'd said. Every joke about Daniel being boring and safe. Every giggle about her last night of freedom. All of it recorded. All of it damning. She clicked the video file. Daniel's face appeared. Calm. Sad. Resolved. She watched in horror as he explained that he'd heard everything. That he was canceling the wedding. That she'd shown him exactly who she was. The video ended. Madison sat frozen at the kitchen table, staring at her laptop screen as the reality crashed down on her. He'd left, canceled everything, taken his things, ended it. The wedding was in 36 hours. Her phone started buzzing, her father's number. She answered with shaking hands. "Dad, what did you say, Madison?" His voice was ice. Pure fury. "What? I don't..." "Daniel sent me an audio file. You inviting your ex-boyfriend to your bachelorette party. Talking about preparing for him. Calling your fiancé boring and safe. On the phone. Recorded." Madison couldn't breathe. "Dad, I can explain..." "Explain what? That you planned to cheat on your fiancé the night before your wedding?" I didn't do anything. Tyler didn't even show up." "That's not the point. The point is you wanted to. The point is you talked about it like it was funny. Like Daniel was just some joke you were settling for." "I was drunk." "That's not an excuse. You humiliated yourself. You humiliated this family. I've spent $40,000 on a wedding for a marriage that doesn't deserve to happen. The wedding can still happen. I can talk to Daniel. I can explain, he already canceled the venue. Called this morning. The wedding is off. The vendors want their money. The guests need to be notified. Do you understand what you've done?" Madison started crying. "Dad, please. I'm disappointed in you. Deeply disappointed. Your mother is devastated. We thought we raised you better than this." He hung up. Madison sat in the silent apartment crying, her phone buzzing with incoming texts. From Brianna. "What happened? Daniel canceled the wedding?" From her sister. "Mom just called. Is it true?" From her cousin. "I can't believe this. 2 days before?" From random friends. "OMG, are you okay?" Each message a reminder. Each buzz a hammer blow. The word was spreading. Daniel had notified people. Her parents were telling family. The bridesmaids were posting cryptic things online. By noon, everyone would know. Madison's perfect wedding, her perfect day, her perfect life, all destroyed because of one drunken conversation. No, destroyed because she'd invited her ex, prepared for him, laughed about it. Sometimes silence is the loudest goodbye. The next 24 hours were a masterclass in consequences. Madison spent Saturday afternoon and evening frantically trying to reach Daniel. Called him 40 times. Every call went straight to voicemail, not even ringing now. He'd blocked her. She texted from her phone. "Please, we need to talk. It's not what you think." When those didn't go through, she tried texting from her friends' phones. It's Madison. Please just hear me out. No responses. Nothing. Just silence and read receipts that showed he was seeing her messages and choosing not to respond. She drove to his office building, waited in the parking garage for 2 hours. He never showed. Drove to his brother's house. Rang the doorbell repeatedly. No one answered. Finally, a text from his brother's number. He doesn't want to talk to you. Leave him alone. You've done enough damage. Saturday evening, her phone buzzed. Tyler, finally responding to the messages she'd sent in a panic. Hey, sorry I missed your party. Was out of town for work. Hope it was fun. Saw on Instagram that you and Daniel broke up. That sucks. Let me know if you want to grab drinks sometime. Madison stared at the message. That was it? No apology. No acknowledgement that his existence had destroyed her entire life. Just casual indifference and a half-hearted offer. She'd lost everything for a man who texted like they were acquaintances making vague plans. Sunday morning, their wedding day, Madison woke up alone at 7 a.m., the time she was supposed to be getting her hair done, the time her bridesmaids were supposed to arrive with mimosas. Instead, she was alone, wearing yesterday's clothes, eyes swollen from crying. She looked at her wedding dress hanging in the closet. $4,000. Custom fitted, wrapped in protective plastic, waiting for a ceremony that would never happen. Her parents arrived at noon. Her mother's eyes were red. Her father's face was stone. We need to talk about the financial situation, her father said. He pulled out a spreadsheet. The venue is keeping the entire deposit, $15,000, plus cancellation fees for everything booked within 72 hours. Total damages, $28,400. That's what your drunken comments cost this family. I'll pay you back? With what money? You work 25 hours a week making $16 an hour. You can't pay back $28,000. I'll get a better job. That's not the point. The point is you destroyed this. You destroyed a wedding, a relationship with a good man, our family's reputation. And for what? For some fantasy about your ex-boyfriend who didn't even show up. I never slept with him. Nothing happened. But you wanted it to. Her mother's voice broke. That's what you don't understand. It's not about what happened. It's about what you were willing to do, what you were prepared for. You betrayed Daniel in your heart before you ever had the chance to betray him with your body. I didn't think anyone would hear. You were being honest, her father said coldly. Drunk talking is honesty without the filter. And what you said honestly was that Daniel is boring and safe and you'd rather be with Tyler. That's how you really feel. What do I do? Madison whispered. You accept responsibility. You stop calling Daniel. You leave him alone. You let him move on with someone who actually deserves him. They left. Madison sat alone on what should have been her wedding day. By Monday, the story had spread through her entire social circle. The bridesmaids group chat became a minefield of judgment. I feel partially responsible. I should have stopped you from inviting Tyler. We all should have, but Madison's an adult. She made her own choice. I just feel bad for Daniel. He seemed like such a good guy. Madison read the messages and said nothing. They were right. Her Instagram, full of engagement photos and wedding planning content, became evidence of her failure. She'd posted 3 days ago. 2 days until I marry my best friend. The comments section was now full of questions. What happened? Did the wedding get canceled? She deleted the post, but people had screenshots. People were sharing them with commentary. This aged poorly. Glad she never made it down the aisle. Her boss called Monday morning. Madison, I think you should take some time off. The wedding situation. People are talking. Clients are asking questions. Are you firing me? I'm suggesting an unpaid leave of absence. Until the gossip dies down. Right now, your presence is a distraction. For how long? A month? 6 weeks? We'll reassess. I can't afford an unpaid leave. Then I suggest you figure something out, because right now, you're a liability to this firm's reputation. Madison sat in her empty apartment, jobless, alone, publicly humiliated. She'd lost her fiancé, her wedding, her parents' respect, her friends' trust, her job, her reputation, all because of one drunken conversation she thought no one would hear. Tyler, who'd never shown up, who'd texted days later with indifference, who was now dating someone else according to Instagram. She'd lost everything for a fantasy that never existed. That was the cruelest part. She'd lost Daniel for nothing, for a man who didn't care, for a memory that wasn't even real. Madison looked at her engagement ring, still sitting on the counter. 3 carats, 6 months of his savings, and understood, finally, what she'd thrown away. Not just a ring, not just a wedding, but a man who'd loved her, chosen her, committed to her, a man she disrespected so casually she didn't even realize she was doing it. Sometimes consequences are the only teacher that works. 2 weeks after the canceled wedding, Daniel sat at a lakeside cafe with his brother, drinking coffee and watching boats drift past. His phone buzzed. Madison's name. Another call. He declined it without looking. "She's persistent," his brother said. "She's desperate. There's a difference." "You really done? No second thoughts?" Daniel considered the question. Took a sip of coffee. Watched the water. "I'm not angry anymore. I was never really angry, honestly. Just disappointed. Relieved, mostly." Relieved? That I found out who she was before legally binding myself to her. Imagine if I'd married her, had kids with her, and then discovered 5 years in that I was always just her safe choice, that she spent our whole relationship wondering about Tyler. That would have been worse. Fair point. She didn't cheat. I get that. Tyler never showed up. Nothing physical happened. But the intent was there. The desire, the preparation, that's enough. That tells me everything I need to know about her character. What if she's changed? What if this was a wake-up call? Maybe, but that's not my problem anymore. She can change for the next person. I'm not interested in being someone's redemption arc. His phone buzzed again. Another call. He declined it. "You should probably block her," his brother said. Probably. But it's sort of therapeutic watching her try. Reminds me I made the right choice. They finished their coffee, paid the bill, walked to the parking lot. "You doing okay?" his brother asked. "Like actually okay?" "I'm great, honestly. Better than I've been in months. I was stressed about the wedding, worried about whether it was the right choice, feeling pressure to go through with it because of all the planning and money and expectations. And now? Now I'm free. No wife who secretly wishes she married someone else. No marriage built on being the backup plan. Just my life, my choices, my future. That's healthy." "Commitment isn't about rings," Daniel said. "It's about respect. And she didn't respect me, didn't respect our relationship. So why would I commit my life to that?" They got in the car. Daniel's phone buzzed one more time. This time, a voicemail. Madison's voice. Tearful. "Please, Daniel, I know I messed up, but I love you. I made a mistake. Can't we just talk? Please? I miss you. I miss us. Call me back." Daniel deleted it. "The best revenge is simply walking away before the wedding," he said. His brother laughed. "That's cold." "No, it's self-preservation. She wanted excitement, wanted to see if she still had chemistry with Tyler, wanted to keep her options open until the last possible second. I just let her have exactly what she wanted." "Which is?" "Freedom." She said it herself. "Last night of freedom." So I gave her permanent freedom. She's free now. Free to chase Tyler, free to find someone exciting, free to live her life without boring, safe Daniel holding her back. You think she regrets it? Probably. But not because she realizes I was the right choice. Because she got caught. Because there were consequences. Because her fantasy didn't work out the way she planned. Daniel started the car, pulled out of the parking lot. His phone was silent now. No more calls, no more texts, just peace. 3 weeks later, he'd hear through mutual friends that Madison had moved back in with her parents, that she'd quit her job, that Tyler had started dating someone else, a fact that had devastated her. But that was her story, not his. Daniel's story was about a man who chose himself, who walked away from someone who didn't value him, who understood that sometimes the greatest act of love is refusing to accept less than you deserve. The wedding would have been beautiful. The marriage would have been miserable. He'd saved himself from years of wondering if she really loved him. Years of being compared to an ex she never fully let go. Years of being the safe choice instead of the first choice. She'd spent all day shaving for someone else. He'd spent all night planning his escape. And in the morning, when she expected breakfast in bed, she got the truth instead. That was better than any meal he could have made.